Hey guys, welcome back. So next week makes 9 weeks since I got my dentures. What are my issues now? Denture don't want to stay in, with or without glue. With cushion grip, still don't want to stay in. I am having to dump a lot of powder in my denture to get it to stay in. If you can tell, right here is a little lower than what it usually is. But I try to shove it up as far as I can, and it still wants to fall right there. I just got a text, probably one of those spam texts. I can eat pretty much anything I want. I have cut a lot of things out of my diet because I don't like the way it sticks to my denture. Having phantom pains in my gum like I have a toothache. Yeah, that's super weird and annoying. Just the other day I felt like I had a toothache right here. And I know I don't got a toothache because there's no tooth in there. But yeah, that was super weird. I still sometimes hold my tongue to the roof of my mouth because I'm afraid my denture is gonna fall. I don't know why I do that. Like, I'm doing it right now, and I just don't know why I'm doing that. Still having a lot of speech issues. I pronounce things, and you can tell I have dentures because I didn't do that before. Like the S's. The S's, you can definitely tell because, I think everybody's noticed this at this point with your dentures, or if you haven't had dentures yet. The S's are super annoying because, like, you can tell. Getting my double chin back, that's great. Yeah, the S's are super annoying. Gagging. I do not have a bad gag reflex. However, I have been getting some comments, some friends and people, and I really want to touch base on a few things. But before I do, I just will tell you guys, I don't really have a whole lot to update on because the further out I go, the less issues I have issues, but they're nothing to do with my gums or nothing like that because those are completely healed. Issues I have are my dentures not staying, things like that. So I want to touch base on some comments I've been getting. And one of the comments I got was gagging with the impression material. I gagged so badly with that stuff. That was disgusting. First of all, it just felt wrong. When they sucked that in my mouth, I hated that part so much. I think I hated that part worse than getting my teeth pulled out because it's like a moist material. It's like a moist consistency. It's gooey. And then she sticks it in, or she sticks it in your mouth, and it seeps. Like, they put so much on that little mold, and then it seeps. When they shove it up in there hard, try to get your impressions, it seeps everywhere, and it made me gag so bad. I hated that stuff. The bottom, she numbed my mouth because, or no, was it the bottom that? Yeah, I think it was the bottom she done first, and it made me gag. It was either the bottom or the top, but I believe it was the bottom she did and made me gag. And then, she used this numbing gel and put it on the roof of my mouth so I didn't gag with the roof of my mouth or the bottom. It was one of the two. I can't remember. Yeah, that stuff made me gag so bad. Trying to think. Another comment I get was I've been getting was the eating. In the beginning, it was super hard for me. I was having a lot of regrets, and I was hating the full beginning. I was regretting taking my teeth out and stuff because one, I couldn't eat. I lived off what is it called? It's one of those Ozark insulated cup things, and it was like big and it has like a handle on it. I lived and I filled that full of water. I lived off of that water. Majority of the time I was drinking that water. I wasn't eating. And the reason I wasn't eating is because I was so aggravated and fed up with the dentures. I was fed up with not trying to figure out what to eat. I was just aggravated with the whole situation. I couldn't wait until I could use cushion grip because I was so hungry and I wanted to eat so badly, but I couldn't. Like, there was no possible way. My husband was eating burgers and things like that, and I wanted the burgers so bad, but I could not eat it. I wanted to eat pizza so bad, but I could not eat it. The things I ate before I got my dentures, I wanted to eat so bad, and I couldn't eat tacos. Oh my goodness. So I was incredibly upset. I was frustrated. I was agitated. I didn't want anybody bothering me. I wanted to just give up. And then I learned that I could eat raviolis. You cannot chew them. The best ones to get are the little mini ones, because you cannot chew them. You have to literally stick them in your mouth, mash them to the roof of your mouth, and swallow them. You cannot chew. SpaghettiOs, you can easily swallow those. The butter soaked bread I ate, I literally took my denture out and I was eating that with no teeth in. I was just smashing it to the roof of my mouth and swallowing it. You can take powder and glue in the roof of your denture. You do not want to get it anywhere where your gums are sitting, just on the roof part. You can take powder and do that, but you cannot do that with your bottoms. I'm thinking, you can eat mashed potatoes, you can eat mac and cheese, Kraft mac and cheese, you could eat soup, any soup. I ate for the first 2 days the broth from one of those handheld Campbell soups in the red container that you're supposed to sip. Rice, you can eat rice. You can eat refried beans. I wouldn't suggest eating those with your dentures in. Anything that's soft and pureed you can eat, or anything that's soft and easy to swallow you can eat. You can eat spaghetti. Just cut it up real small, and like I said, just swallow it like you would the raviolis or the spaghettios. Um, Green beans, if you cook them long enough in the stove, I like to take my green beans and drain out all the liquid in it, and I like to throw it in a pan with like 3 to 4 sticks of butter, and I cook it. I cook it about 20 minutes, so they're nice and tender and buttery. And I put salt and pepper in there. I wouldn't suggest salt and pepper right now with your gum sealing, um, but you can. I put salt and pepper in them, and I can. Those are real. They're real soft and tender when I do that. So my green beans are really. I love my green beans. They're delicious. Um, but yeah, they're soft and tender, and you can eat them. Um, Pudding, yogurt, jello, oatmeal. Um, I don't know how you eat your oatmeal, but when we were kids growing up, my mom would make the Quaker oats, and then she would stick it in a bowl for us and pour milk over it and put sugar in there for us. Used to love it when my mom used to make oatmeal like that. I haven't ate oatmeal since I was a kid, honestly. But you can eat oatmeal. If you do it that way, you can eat them. I don't know if you can eat it the other way. Um, um, Jeez. Yeah, that's all I can come up with off the top of my head. You you know, you're gonna be limited on what you can eat. You're gonna be limited on things that I learned a lot from my sister. Um, my sister actually went 6 months without dentures. They pulled her teeth and she went 6 months without dentures. So I learned a lot of what I can eat from her. Um, and still to this day, she still takes her teeth out and eats things like cake, things like that, because she does not want to have to deal with that getting all stuck all in your denture. I have just learned recently an issue that I have with the cushion grip, and on the edge, on the back of my plate, the cushion grip is kind of lifted up a little bit. It didn't stick to the plate. And so last night when I was cleaning my denture, I noticed that there was food underneath of there. And there was some little black specks, and I was afraid it had mold on it, and I scrubbed it off, and it wasn't mold, it was just food or something on there. Probably pepper. But now I have to look to make sure I'm cleaning underneath that parts that are lifting up. Another comment I have gotten was about the pain. And honestly, I stayed on top of the hydrocodone that they gave me. And honestly, I kept that face ice packed on my face when I could. I stayed elevated. I took a blanket, bunched it up, stuck it behind me, and that's how I slept at night. If they didn't give you any pain meds, because this just recently happened to my friend, and they didn't give her any pain meds. If they didn't give you any pain meds, you can stay on top of ibuprofen. Is probably, for me, I would think it would be the best, because I'm just a firm believer in ibuprofen. I'm not really, other people like Tylenol. I believe in ibuprofen. I feel like it takes the pain away better than Tylenol, but you can stay on top of the ibuprofen and Tylenol every 4 to 6 hours. Gargle some salt water, warm salt water, because it's gonna help a lot. that was one thing my dentist told me. You know, if you're feeling a lot of pain in tender areas, she said you can gargle some salt water, warm salt water. It'll help a lot, especially with the pain areas in the healing process. Your mouth is one of the fastest healing parts of your body. And so those gums are not going to be like that forever. You're just in the immediate stages, and it's just the roughest time. And you know, you really feel like you want to give up, and you really feel like you don't want to do this no more, but you just have to keep pushing through. I know it's hard right now, I know it sucks, but it does get better. It gets a lot better. If you go back in my videos, back to, oh, it's at the 4 week marker. I'm not really too sure which video it is though. Um, but there's a video way back, and I'll go through my videos and see if I can find it before I upload this one, and I'll try to link it down below. I'm not really good at YouTube, and I haven't figured out a lot of things, but I'll try to link it below, and I'll try to figure out how to link it actually. And if I can't, um, I'll try to figure out a way to show you guys the video. Um, but on that video, I first had done cushion grip, and I was able to, I love pork rinds, so I was able to chew those pork rinds. I tried eating a Kit Kat. It was manageable, I could eat it, but it was popping my bottom denture off, unfortunately. Um, and there was something else I had tried in that video. Oh, a soft baked cookie. I did not like that. That got stuck to the roof of my mouth. That was very unfortunate. But then there was other videos before that one. You can see in the videos I was struggling. I was hating the whole process. I absolutely hated my dentures. I thought this was never going to end for me. I thought I was never going to be able to eat again. I lost so much weight in the beginning. I mean, my face was thinning out, um, which obviously it's not anymore because I'm able to eat. Um, it was just horrible in the beginning. I hated the beginning. Um, I'm sorry, I'm not spacing. I was just thinking. Eating, pain. Cushion grip. You cannot use cushion grip until you're 4 weeks out. Your gums are too tender right now to use cushion grip. I started using cushion grip at 4 weeks. Other people used at 5, 6 weeks. Myself, I started using it at 4 weeks because I was tired of being hungry. And my gums were healed by 4 weeks. They were not healed at 3 weeks. They were not healed at 2 weeks. My gums were fully healed at 4 weeks. And that was when I was able to use the cushion grip. You cannot use cushion grip until your gums healed. Unfortunately, in the beginning, you have to just manage through the whole process because you cannot use cushion grip right now. I'm so sorry. I know it's hard and I know it's rough. But cushion grip just cannot be used until you're at least 4 weeks. And the reason for that is because your gums are still super swollen. So if you try to put cushion grip in there, it's really not going to do anything for you. It's just going to seep out. And then you just wasted your money, you know. And even at 4 weeks, they're still swollen. But their majority of them are healed. Um, Gagging. You can, any gagging or any tender spots or anything you have an issue with, you can call your dentist and ask them for an adjustment. If you feel like your dentures are causing you issues, for example, um, I had a lot of problems with my dentist's office, first of all, and now I'm afraid to call them for anything. Um, but my bottom plate, for an example, was super long. It was so long, if you run your tongue along your bottom teeth or your bottom denture plate, you can go all the way back and then you'll feel a ledge back here. If you don't feel that ledge, you um, then you have extra plastic from your denture sitting on it. But I feel a ledge. And my denture was not sitting properly on the bottom of my gums. So I called my dentist and I said, look, this is bothering me. Can you shave it down? I went in. Well, first of all, when I went to the day after, they shaved a lot off and she thinned it out on the top. And then the second day, I called them back because where she adjusted it caused it more issues. So they adjusted another part that was causing me issues. And then they called back the third day and they did not want to do the adjustment. They told me I needed to wait until my gums healed. I had to wait an entire week in pain. And what it was is my top plate was too long, so it was digging into my skin back here that connects from my cheek to my gum. It was digging in, and so yeah, I had to wait a week to get that adjusted. So when I went in to get that adjusted, I asked her to actually shave off all the extra plastic that was sitting on that ledge in the back of your mouth. I actually had her shave all that off. So mine is actually, she didn't do it what I told her to do. She did what she wanted to do. So mine's still actually, it doesn't have any of that plastic sitting on that ledge, but she left like on the inside, on this side, she left a long ledge going and touching that ledge on the back of on my gum. And so sometimes when my denture starts losing its adhesive, I start getting pain spots on that side. Is it on the bottom too? It's not on this side. It's just on that side. I just felt it's not on that side. On the top, I asked her to shave all the way to the teeth, and she shaved as much as she wanted off on the top, and I still have a lot of extra plastic on the top of my denture. And yeah, it's too much. I can feel it. It's just too much in my mouth. But the last time I went to get an adjustment, they told me they only do 3 adjustments and that they're going to do the last adjustment I had done as a courtesy, and that they don't do a bunch of adjustments because it can mess up your denture and then it don't fit and blah blah blah, whatever else he said to me, which is whatever. It's bullshit because I had talked to another dentist and the dentist told me that they do as many adjustments as you need until your denture fits properly and doesn't cause pain. So it's just bullshit. A dentist's office just didn't want to do the adjustments, which I don't understand why, because it doesn't cost them any money to do it, just their time. So I just, whatever. So if you're having issues with any part of your denture and you feel uncomfortable, call your dentist. Ask them, can you do an adjustment? Can you shave down some of this extra plastic on my top plate because it's causing gagging? Or if you have a sore spot on the bottom, call them up and say, hey, Can you shorten this, or can you thin it out so it's not causing me so much pain? And they usually do. They usually have you come in for an appointment, and they just shave down what you're having an issue with. I have been soaking my dentures since, I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe it was day 2. It was either day 2 or day 3. I was taking them out and soaking them overnight because I just couldn't do it. They were so painful, and I just could not do it. And some days I sat all day without my denture in because I just couldn't do it. It was so painful putting them in, though. It was horrible. It was horrible. It was painful putting them in. Sticking them back on your tender gums, I mean, that was terrible. Even my sister said that, it's just terrible. My sister said she's glad that in the beginning she didn't have her dentures because her gums were able to heal properly. And ours, I feel like, this is my opinion, I feel like it took longer for our gums to heal because of the denture sitting on top of them. That's just what I think. My sister said it was 2 weeks and her gums were healed. It was 3 weeks before mine were, no, it was 4 weeks when mine were completely healed. And my sister said hers healed within 2.5, 3 weeks. She said hers were healed. I think she said it was actually 2.5 weeks hers were healed. But she didn't have no immediate dentures. So I feel like the denture actually slows down the process. Oh, and not to mention the fact that, so my gums were healing and my stitches weren't coming out. My last 2 stitches come out around the 5-week marker up here, and I had to maneuver them out with my tongue because they weren't coming out. My gums were healing and my stitches were still in there. I still have, I can't remember, I think it's on the bottom. It might be on the top. I still have a gum that has a stitch in it. Yeah, that never came out. Because she had put them in there so tight that they weren't loosening up to come out. I have to literally sit here and think about my comments because I do not have another phone to screenshot them and send them to, so I have to remember. I try to get on here and comment back as much as I can, but sometimes it's really difficult because I get so busy. Like right now, I should be leaving and going to the bank, and I'm still in my house. Yeah, that's all I can think of for now. If you guys have any questions, just comment down below, or if you have any issues, just comment down below, and I will definitely get back to you guys and comment back. I hope this is helpful, and I love you guys, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.